All right, hey, thanks for tuning in for my weekly stream. Starting a little bit later than normal, just a busier Wednesday. So I'm gonna work on phpstan-drupal again, and I want to nail down two PRs. This one helps with some book property things. So the book module adds like a custom property into nodes, and this will make it aware. I just fell off the wagon on reviewing this. I can't remember, and nothing else needs to be done. And reading some of the follow-ups here. So same answer as above. Let's look at that. And then this PR proves that there is a bug and we need to try to fix it. So this is going to be the harder one. I want to just land this one first about the book module support, because book module isn't core, and I don't think there's any plans to deprecate and remove it from Drupal core. That's actually a good question. So let's do Drupal book module. And I'm just going to check to make sure. Book module overview. Use book module. In there. Structured books. So let's go to, instead, I'm just going to look at the project ideas queue and then also Drupal. Let's search for, not advanced search. Let me see if I can get that. Search for book first. And we'll do an advanced search of core issues. Remove the book content type from the book module. 6 years old of an idea. Move book to contrib in Drupal 11. So, according to deprecate non-expected module, book was only used on 5% of Drupal sites. This issues to discuss whether book should be removed from Drupal 10 and moved to contrib. It's RTB seed, but what's the next steps here? Let's go read backwards. Many users are all reload this. I concur that moving this module to contrib is a reasonable step. I'm happy to move it to be moved to contrib. There are contrib solutions. All agree. So I'm actually going to comment on this. I have one concern. There are discussions on moving book to contrib. See this issue. There's no related issue though about actually doing it. Oh, never mind. There is a parent issue. And 4 modules ready to be deprecated. This extension would then be holding onto custom property reflections for just one contrib when many may manipulate node entities this way. I wish there'd be an easier way to do this. Let's see. So deprecate. Let's see with this full scope. So plan to move book to contrib. This is new terminology. Deprecate with the book module statistics. All right. So let's see your modules: field layout, forum, tracker, statistics, policies pending final sign-offs. So it's not actually guaranteed yet. So maybe it wouldn't be trouble considering this before merging this while giving second review. All right, so I'm going to pull down this code and see what it does, because I don't remember. I first reviewed it via mobile way back when. So let's look at the files changed, and then I'll pull it down. So it changes entity field reflection, 523. Do GitHub PR check out. Book module support. The problem is, I think by having our entity field reflection, it kind of overrides a lot of other things. And that's even the first discussion in this issue, is that using stubs doesn't support this. Probably fix this with the stub. Tried this before submitting. So nothing. My impression is that the code in get readable type and writable type took precedence for whatever reason. So yeah, that is a problem. So if type original, return mixed type, maybe we can make this be less authoritative. So annotation property type, get declaring class, type readable, property reflection, entity field reflection is a property reflection, declaring class, property name. Let's see how this is wired up. I'm pretty sure it's hardwired, but maybe there's a way we could fall back on the annotation. So if we don't know, we will return what the annotation says. So annotation property reflection. We need to look at the conf to see how it was configured. Nothing. Oh, nothing found. That's not. Here we go. Class. It's not in the far. Oh, it'd be in this. No. Let's find the usages. See when it's constructed. So find class reflection with property. So this could be it. This is in annotations property class reflection, entity field reflection, class. So what if we did a, do we have a test for this? I don't think this added a test case. It did not. It just modified this file. So I need to get a test case going. This would be great if we could fix the underlying problem and then add this as a stub instead of into this code, because that would probably fix a lot of other bugs also that are happening with this reflection. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to main. Or not. Let's keep it here. And I can just comment out this code. Oh, this is a short circuit. I see. So it actually would, if it's a content entity interface, it's going to return that as a field item list interface when it truly isn't. So we actually need it to happen earlier. So let's go, let's put a breakpoint here. Do a breakpoint here also and get a test case going. So let's write a test to test source reflection, entity fields, entity reflection fields, extension. Yep. Here's the test. Where is the test source coming from? True, true, true. We got to do a property name. I need to see how, I wonder how phpstan tests these things. Because normally we have a data set, and maybe that's Actually, here we go. Entity property type test. Entity properties. Yeah, this is what we want to test. So let's open a, just do a book module.php. And we'll extend this to also say book module.php. Convert these to self. And let's go into this code. Where do we have entity properties? So we need to say that node equal node create. Actually, okay, so let's do namespace Drupal book. I'm gonna say book module property. Copy these two use statements. I don't think we need to go this far to actually specify type because it's all fake. Assert type. What did we come out to be is that this is the shape. So book property should be an array of, shouldn't have closed this, reflection, entity field reflection. So it'd be great to kill off this whole reflection here and use stubs instead, because it'd probably remove a lot of bugs. So maybe that is the fix to remove this, but what if it actually is doing better work? Because here, like, it defines the original property and it does like a specification for it on what kind it could be. So let's say readable type, assert type is type, so be array string mixed from, what's CodePilot gonna say? Okay, great. CodePilot figured it out, or Copilot rather, figured it out. Let's run the test. Probably gonna break for a second. We need a rerun. Yeah, let's rerun it, because that's a quirk I can't figure out. And then the next thing I'll need to do is add a stub to node interface for the book property. Let's see if we can kill off this code, but it should pass. Okay. This passed, and I'm going to run it. I'm going to run this specific test provider again. So we can validate it. Still passes. I'm going to run it individually. So now if we unset this and I rerun, we should get a test failure because we know it was working. I want to try to remove that and annotate it with the stub. Let's verify it fails when I comment it out. All right, yep, because we got field item list interface. So that's the problem. Now, what we should do, let's go to stubs, Drupal, core, entity. Do we have entity stub? That handles the traversable. Let's go core. We're going to make file node interface .stub. Does file have that? File interface, yeah. Okay. Node interface. Been a while since I've added some stubs. Let's see if I get this right. So we have a node interface here. It's essentially just copying the skeleton of the file. And nothing more, nothing less. I don't think we need any of the uses. I copy those over too. I have. So we've got content entity interface, entity changed, entity owner, revision log, entity published. Okay, so all of these interfaces can be copied over, which means that they need to be stubbed as well. So I have a test for that. I can wait to run that. So yeah, if you have a stub that uses other stubbed interfaces or anything else, those stubs have to also exist. Oh, hey, checking out the chat. Sorry, I got way too rabbit holed. Thank you for putting awesome articles in the blog, like hooked update n and post update n. Yes. I'm glad you found that useful. It is a really little nuance in the difference, but it's important for people to know. And the fact is that there's not much difference except for if you write a hook update n, caches get flushed. But it's more of like a logical separation than literal separation. Nice. That's good that it helped your situation. And honestly, the main reason I know it is back in 2004 to 2014-15 era, I worked on a Drupal 7 hosting SaaS. So it was like 500 sites hosted with Eager, and it was all Drupal 7 sites. And we had to do rolling deployments with all these disparate update hooks, and I've really got to learn that system, and also trying to get to like a zero downtime deployment with Drupal. Cache rebuild or cache clear all like shouldn't exist on a deploy, and that's the world I try to get to. PHP is .h files, like header files. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it was in here, but it's a C thing. So like if it gets compiled down, I guess, but I have not actually seen that. Oh, stub feel like .h files. Got it. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the idea. So PHP Storm, or not Storm, Stan, and I think Psalm use stubs. And the idea behind stubs is to provide extra annotations. So it's PHP doc enhancements. It's a way to fix, quote unquote, fix PHP docs if you don't own the code. So a lot of the code in here in these stubs are good contribution opportunities for Drupal core. The only bad part is Drupal core's like the coding standards don't yet parse array. They don't parse these advanced array syntax yet. So that's one bummer. All right, so here, node interface extends. Yeah, we still got the error because I didn't annotate this property. So I should be able to do property. Let's see if Copilot, no, it probably has no idea what. Oh, it does. Hey, sweet. Let's say array string mixed book. And let's run this again. We know it should fail because that's what everybody's reporting. So what I think has to happen is right here, we should be doing a check to see if there are annotations or ahead of time. We should check if there's any annotations available before we override that. So this declaring class get property. I don't know if this is going to cause a recursion or not. Let's see what happens. Foo equals. So this should be registered. Let's go ahead and debug this and see where we end up. So that's great that the deep dive helped you out with that. Is there anything else of a deep dive that'd be useful? I know I did one recently on like render cache debugging. I just wrote one on anti-patterns and dependency injection in Drupal that can cause like weird quirky bugs. But that's like my lane. I love just writing blogs that kind of go into the depths of one quirky area that not everyone hits, and you only hit it when something goes really, really wrong, and that's when you learn. And helping people avoid that, or at least have a resource, is something I like to provide. Which is one reason I do these live streams too, is I always hit quirky things. Throwable T, argument count error too few. Okay, so what does it want? See, I don't need to have this in its own side by side anymore. So let's bring it on over, get property, scope. There's no scope available. So that's not. All right, I gotta remember how any of this works, because how old is this? 2019. So this is all old. This is before phpstan had a lot of changes in it. So we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. This isn't even showing up in here. Hold on. How is this registered? Oh, it's in here. Okay, get property. If this implements, oh man. So, has property. Here we go. Has native property. So get property. False. So let other parts of phpstan handle this. Has native property. I think actually this should go into get property tags. So we need to start debugging here. Yeah, to do have this run after annotations property class reflections, which is not possible. But if I were to go to phpstan and search the discussions, I know I asked about this. Issues. Did I open any of these issues? Let's look at that. Out of order of property. Here we go. Property annotations are ignored. Universal crates. And brokers. System wouldn't work if there's more than one extension for a class property combo. Switching the order would break some other use cases. You should take your class out of and write a custom extension instead. No. How to set service priority. Here we go. Does not. Yeah. All right. So, like this to do exact use case, get in contact with me, contribute new configuration that turns off the extension so you can register your own extension. Yep. So you can inject. This is what was suggested. Or copy the logic from Larstan reflection helper. Let's see, line 14. That's what I did, and it doesn't seem to be working. Or, oh, let's copy this. Also, or wait, has property. Oh, has property tag. What's this? That's reflection helper. Turn false. You know what? I bet this is what's missing. Because we're annotating the interface, and that is actually a node object. So I wonder if that's where the quirk lies. So let's rerun the debugger and see what happens. I swear, if this is it, I'm gonna be so mad. So it has property, but that's not true of get property though. So let's look at has method tag, has property tag. Will this help me find its symbol? There we go. I'm loving the new GitHub UI for exploring and symbol detection. So has property, return false, has accessor, get property. So I think this, oh, what is this? What does has property do again? You got to read the docs. But let's just step through. So foo, there's no properties on node, which is true. And ancestor, let's read ancestor. What do we got going on here? Content entity interface. Traversable, let's hit stop. Hold on, make this. Let's do get name bar equals ancestor, get property tags. Thank you, Copilot. So that's probably been my favorite part of Copilot so far, is just auto completing single lines. Like, I'm not expecting it to be magical, but the fact that I just type bar equals ancestor and it knew I wanted the property tags method, it's not always right, but when it is, it saves those few seconds. And for $10 a month, I'm easily saving that much time. I don't use it for work, so it's not literally turned into like paying for itself. But if I was still contracting, it definitely would pay for itself in a heartbeat. But also, since it is like scanning your code, you have to make sure you could actually use it without violating anything. Okay, so ancestor, the name is node, class of reflection, ancestors. It's got all these things. Okay, it's a lot. So it's node, there's no property tags, node interface. Property tags is book. So it should return what's property. Oh, we're not looking at property name UID. Let's do property name book. Let's play. Let's go through here. Let's. All right. Hold on a second, because it's, even though I'm running that one test, it's scanning all the code, I guess. No test executed. That's wonderful. Not helpful. Oh, shoot. This is still crashing. Okay. I'm going to hit stop because I broke something. And I'm going to rerun this. So I'm really hoping that this is a fix, and that was the secret that I missed. There we go. So let's look at this entity field reflection. We're going to remove that line of code. We're going to move this line of code. Which undoes that. This entity field, go with this. So, you know, in Laristan, where'd it go? Let's go back. Class reflection has, I don't think this is necessary, but we'll let it. I'm not going to change it. So actually, has native property. Realize, is this doing the same thing here? Has property tag, property extension. Are they checking that too? This has accessor. I think that's their has native method, has native, yeah. So if it has a method for that, I'm gonna comment that out Because if I don't need that return, I feel like the get ancestors reads the current class itself. If ancestors is equal to null, yeah, it includes itself in the ancestors. So ancestors is itself, add to ancestors for each interface, trait, and parent classes. So we can streamline this code. So if it has tag properties, and then if that doesn't pass, it goes further in. So I'm gonna try to run all my tests. See, now we can refine this. Actually, we can refine the type. And then see if it crashes on. This should error on what stubs we're missing then. So let's go to phpstan.org. Oh, I already have the docs open. Let's go to docs. Writing PHP code. PHP doc types. Let's look at the we had one error. Let's see what that is. Oh, has property. True. Okay, where did this fail? Field item list value. Field item list value. Field item list implements. Shoot. Why did that get bypassed? That doesn't make sense. So, right. If we copy this out and add that one back in, let's rerun the failed tests. Because it's not tagged. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Yeah, extends item list. Extends item list. Implements field item interface. Yeah, why is this failing now? So I'm going to run this with xdebug to see which part it's failing at. Obviously, it's something in here, but why would it be bypassed? Or what did I all remove? And let's see, that adds the line there, which we're about to debug. And then if I look in here, this is just for property type book. Property type book. I didn't change anything else. Let's step over. So property name is value, class reflection is field item list. Uh-oh. What happened here? Shoot. Error type. All right, I need to reload this because I ended up down a rabbit hole. Why did an error type get constructed? And why would this now be broken? I'm also somewhat concerned as to why it takes so long to parse this. All right, so if we step over, get the ancestor. Ancestor is, yeah, the field item list. Properties, I'm gonna step into it, get property tags, resolve PHP doc. Resolve property tags. This property tags. Well, if what? Okay, hold on. Value. Reflection. Stub PHP doc. Property mixed value. Oh, there it is. Field item list interface stub. Field item interface. There it is. Returns mixed. And what is the test? True. It should say, oh, because it's testing the extension. Say false. Ah, so we did fix a bug. Or maybe not. Has property. So here we can go extension. Has property. Is class a field itemless interface. Can't handle property. So value is string type. Oh, is this going to cause... I don't know if this is going to cause like a breaking change or not. I'm not sure. So I'm going to keep this part as is. I'm going to change the test. Or actually, hold on. What I should do is can handle property. To do this needs to be removed as the extension properly reads tags from stubs. This is annotated on. I guess it's not annotated everywhere. So I'm going to keep it and just let it be. But this test shows that I fixed something-ish. Good from interface stub. All right, so field item list does not, but field item list interface says mixed property value. Since most fields have a value property, not all. Ideally, we'd remove this. Where did we add this in? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just leave it as is because we can only do so much. So I'm gonna rerun the test and double check all my diffs. So entity field reflection, nothing for book. That's all good. That's good. Now we add our stubs. So let's go. Iterables, shapes, generics, class string, other advanced types, local alias types. So we can implement you can define shapes here, and I'm going to try that above here. So we'll say, all right, so we got this, or it's all passing. So let's call this type book data is an array. And this property is book data. Now, we don't need to necessarily separate it, but I just think it might make this a little bit easier by defining these types up front or up above. So let's close this. The array, we have int ID, which is numeric string. And let's just rerun the test again to see. I should get a failure on my one book data test. And I'll have to update this. This assert type should fail. So we got BID, which is the same. Okay, well, this is annotating all the base fields, which again is neat that it managed to figure it out and get the right types. So that's neat. Like Rivet UID is numeric string, but int numeric string. See the failure. All right, so it's coming through. So let's go ahead and finish updating all this. Int numeric string has children as int numeric string or bool. Int numeric string bool. Which do we have a fancy way of saying? String numeric string. Is there a numeric? Yeah. So other advanced type is a string that would pass in is numeric. Non-falsy string, truthy string. That is true after casting the boolean. So that's a more appropriate. That is true after cast. No, non-falsy. Never mind. That is not what we want. So int mask. Oh, accepts the values that can be composed using types given integers. That would be okay, never mind. We're not using masking, so we'll just keep it at that. Wait. Int new numeric string. Can I break these over new lines? Let's see, I'm gonna run that test, and I hopefully can get this wrapped up in just a few minutes. I've got to run for baseball. This is not the test I want. Type any property type test. Let's run it. Because I have no, it should. I mean, it's just reading the PHP doc. So I'm gonna hit play. So if I can break this out, we'll be all set. Okay, cool. Can. So let's get these all on online. Let's do some copy paste. Depth. Oh, wait, come back. Depth is 1. Now let's see if I can get not int. So what we've got P1 to 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9. Then link path. Not quite. String. And link title. Woohoo! So now if I run this, we'll have the full type available. It will be stubbed out, and I don't mind keeping this in the stub instead of making people copy around. Hey, thanks for joining in. All right. Actual mixed. Oh, because I broke a missing commas. Let's rerun this. So this fixes a pretty big bug in phpstan with reading from stubs that have updated properties. Or expected type array, got type, stupid long string, module. Oh, this makes me happy. This should open the door to fixing a lot of things and makes it easier for contributors also, because now contributors can just come in and create stub files and use that to fix some type inference with phpstan and their Drupal code. Sweet. Now what I need to figure out, tests. Stub test. This always passes locally, but it never does in the CI. And I can't understand it. Why? So I'm just gonna look at core entity published interface. Like I don't have this here. So let's go ahead and make that stub file. So entity published interface, revision log interface. Yeah, that's not here. Just to try to get it ready before I push user. So we gotta make new file user. That stub. Core entity changed interface. That's not here. Content entity interface. That's here at least. All right. So now I just need to entity changed interface. Boom. Nice and simple. Cover that. Entity owner interface is in the user module, but revision log interface is down here somewhere. Here we go. I love how the core interface ends up. Why would it type hint on user interface? Why not like a account? Okay, whatever. Nothing's perfect. You basically need to have the user module installed to do Drupal anyways, so no need to debate that too far. So now we need to have revisionable interface also as a stub. File stub. So revision log, revisionable. Okay, let's get back to that part of the tree. So that way I can get the entity published interface. And now we go to entity owner, which is in the user module. Which would be neat if this was actually in core, and instead of it being like a user object, it was we have account abstractions, but it's not the, oh, and this doesn't extend entity interface either. I guess it doesn't have to. All right, so I think that's it. Let's go ahead and fix reading property annotations on stubs, stub book on node interface. Oh, shoot, don't push. Cancel. Let's just do a commit. The reason why I didn't want to push is I did a checkout of a fork, and when you push inside phpstorm to one of those, it pushes it to your origin and not the proper head. So if I were to do git push, this will now push to the appropriate fork branch. And anyway, I'm going to click update branch also. Hey. I fixed the issue of parsing property on entity stubs. So I moved the book annotations, moved the book type, book property types to the stub, which seemed less hacky to maintain and makes it easier to eventually remove any funky entity reflection, any field reflection code. It's actually what we could do now. I'm going to open issues for this. So not source, let's go reflection. Entity field methods. Yeah, we're going to, I'll open issues for that later. I'm going to get this to pass. But now we can kill off all that code, I hope. So let's do PHP vendor, bin, PHPCS. Fix my coding errors since I never check it. Yeah. Composition over extension. We'll be able to compose all of our stubs instead of needing the reflection extensions, which makes it all honky-dory. What would be interesting, sorry, checking some out of baseball note. So what would be I completely lost my thought because I saw a message from our coach. Oh, if Drupal core can't add these because of our coding standards, like what if Drupal core maintained the stubs and phpstan-drupal didn't? But that seems, at that point, it seems really silly because we could just fix it in Drupal core. So yeah, that seems silly. Right now, phpstan-drupal will serve as that repository of goodies until we can new divergent branches, and you specify how to reconcile them. Oh, I thought I have this set up, but maybe not when it's. I've never actually had that happen on a fork that I was working on, so that could be why. So this one will have to wait till tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but next week. And essentially what it's going to do is validate the methods returned in trusted callbacks that they are present, and it could be possible to do through reflection. And that we can basically do like if exists an array, if it doesn't exist in the array returned, then it's not a listed method, which stinks because it's not really needed once we get to Drupal 11, because I think this interface will be deprecated and we'll be able to use just PHP attributes in Drupal 11, but that's also a year away. And just because that's a year away doesn't mean people won't be using Drupal 10 for some time after that. All right, so let's see. The tests are going. The tests pass. I will be signing off and merging and doing release after the stream, so that way I can get ready. 1 second. Just want to see these turn green. And I don't think there's any pressing issues that opened up. I transferred this from Drupal check, and that's just a phpstan thing. And I migrated that over from something else too. I think I just need to close this. I'm a horrible maintainer. I never close anything because I always feel bad. Because like, what if I need to come back to it and maybe I was wrong, but I should probably start working on that habit. Right. So let's resolve this conversation because it's not valid anymore. Resolve this. I'm going to approve this PR because now, wait, 10 changed files. Yeah, because it was one. This is the main fix. And then it's all stubs. Way down. I'm going to click approve. Make it matters too much. And there we go. All right, I got to run so I can do baseball with the kids. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. This will turn out to be a nice little fix for phpstan-drupal. I'm going to release that offline. And have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.